I've come out to gather my greenery for my annual greening of Christmas. It was really cold this morning, down in the 20s. We had a great big frost, but it's warmed up quite a bit now. I think it's about 50. The frost is still laying though in the back of our house, but I've come down to Granny's. She's got these boxwoods that she's planted in several different places, and they're, as you can see, they're overgrown and need to be trimmed, and I should trim them each year, but I mean during the summer, thinking about keeping them neat and nice, but mostly when they get trimmed is when I come and raid them for my Christmas greening. A lot of pine needles in these underneath this big pine tree behind us. Some kind of vine too. You can hear the neighborhood beagle has spotted us. No matter how many times the dog sees you, it still barks, even though you live here. It's got to protect its domain, I reckon. He's got a tremulous little bark, don't he, Matt? He could hone a house with that little bark.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna let Matt cut some of the bigger ones. My hands is already getting cold, and we're still being bayed by our neighborhood beagle. He's got his trees.
Yeah.
This is a pretty big hemlock tree that's in Granny's yard. Look, ain't that beautiful? It's already decorated with the little pine cones. I think I'm gonna get one of them. I may have to get Matt to reach the higher ones. Look at all the little pine cones. That'll be just perfect. We got everything we could get around Granny's house, and the last time I was down at the creek, I spotted this holly. This is a she holly because it has berries. Some hollies, if they don't have berries, they're he hollies. There's male and female. So I remembered seeing it while I was down here. I'm gonna get a few pieces of it. It's, of course, hollies are very pokey. And Barbara Woodall taught me that when she was a little girl, they would, I can't do it probably, but they would hold them by the little pokey parts and then blow on them, and they would flutter, and they called them flutter mills. This leaf don't hardly have any places to hold on to it. I'll have to find another one. Anyway, we're gonna cut some of them with red berries. I think that'll be just perfect for our greening of Christmas. It's a pretty piece. So Matt got us some white pine just in case we don't have enough. It's always good at Christmas. It smells so good, and of course it looks Christmassy, so I think we've about got it. Now we just got to go home and put it all together. So with Matt's help, I got it all brought back up to the house, everything that we got. I've got it spread out here and some in the floor. I've also got some of the little things that I might just stick in there, little store-bought greenery with little red berries. I've got some of, I don't know if Granny crocheted these or Corey and Katie, but just little strands of crochet, like for roping. I'm not sure if I'll use any of that. I've got some of the, last year I used these and I thought they were really, really pretty in the swag where we go into the living room. After I made it, we stuck some of these beautiful, fake but beautiful berries in them, so I think I'll do that. Now last year, and every year, what I've always done is, I learned this, I think Nanette Davidson is who I learned it from, but when we were doing the greening of the folk school years ago, but was to take like a rope, and then a length of rope or twine or whatever you have, and then make little bunches, think of little bunches of greenery, you know, whatever it is you're using, boxwood or pine or whatever, and then make those little hands, they're called, and then attach that to the rope or whatever you're using, and then that makes a beautiful swag. And that's what I usually do. But Matt, he always comes up with great ideas. He's got a mechanical mind for sure. He said he thought it would work if we got something more sturdy, like a stick. So he cut this stick, and he's already put it up there and tried it, and I think it'll work fine. He thinks it will too. So instead of doing it to the roping, I'm just going to attach it to this, and then we'll put that up there, and it'll be more sturdy. So we're going to try that this year. But first, before I get started on that, there's two. I like to stick stuff everywhere when I'm thinking about the greening of Christmas, but especially that swag there. And then in the living room, there's this, it stays out all year round, and I always put stuff in it. I can see some dust flying off of it. Looks like I need to dust it. And then also this little green bottle, it stays out all the year too, and I usually put maybe some daffodils in it or something in the spring, and maybe even some leaves in it in the fall. But I'm going to fix both of them because that's just simple, just sticking stuff in it. And I don't know, see, then it's always like, what do I use? I also remembered, Matt reminded me, I had some of our trimmings from our Christmas tree, so I had them laying out on the porch. And this is a cypress, Murray cypress I think was the name of it. So I have it to go along with the hemlock, with the darling little pine cones on it, and also the white pine and the holly. So it'll be hard. I'm just going to start with this though, I think. I think it's going the wrong way. Maybe put it that way. I might put one of these behind it though for, like, hold it up. Yeah, I can see I really do need to dust. Need to dust this for sure. That's already looks beautiful. That's why I love the greening of Christmas. I love bringing all that stuff indoors, but it's so easy. You just put it out and it's just already beautiful. You don't really have to try much. Here's some white pine that we brought. You could probably stick some of it down in there. Just be a medley of pine. Ooh, that's pretty with the different types of needles. Let me get another one. Stick that in there. Oh, I love it, love it. Now maybe some holly, and that might just be done. The holly's all stuck together because it's sticky already. Oh yeah, that's just lovely, just like that. Now last year I put a ribbon around this and I hot glued it, but I don't think I'm going to do that this year because I had a terrible time getting it off. I did get it off, but I had a terrible time getting it off, so I'm not going to do that. I wonder if I should put, if I've got any little, this is a kind of a different, I'm almost afraid I'll run out. I guess if I do though, I could get up there, and I'm pointing up there to that, I could get some of that, because this one is really pretty. Just a splash of red to match the holly there. I might put that right down in the middle. And I think that's lovely. So let's see, let me turn it around and see what you think. And it took me like, well, it took longer to go find this stuff than it did to actually make it. But I think this is lovely. I'm gonna call one of my helpers. Hey Matt, you come here for a minute. We'll hand it off and that one will be done. I think it's really pretty though, and that's just how simple, and smells so good. Smells like Christmas. You put that back, you know where I usually put it. Matt's looking at me like, where do you usually put it? On the little shelf there above the electric. We've got a tiny little electric stove in the living room for just when it's not cold enough to have a big wood, you know, with our wood heater. We have a fire in it today in the basement, but just for a little bit of warmth in there, and there's a little shelf on top of it, so he can put that back. Now, this one just needs something really little, some little things. Maybe I'll get some of the boxwood. I need to save a lot of the boxwood for that's what I'm mostly going to make the swag out of. But that's pretty. Let's see, what else would I put? Maybe some white pine in it. This little one goes right where I sit, so in the living room. I don't know if you're like that, but we all have a favorite place that we perch. That's pretty. I love all the pine needles, little fronds of pine needles. And I wonder if I could do some, maybe just another little sprig of the hemlock from Granny's. It's got one little pine cone on that one. Anyway, we all have a favorite place where we like to sit, and this usually goes by where I sit, so it'd be nice, and I can smell it and see it. And the pine smells so good. I wish you could smell it. Let's see if I've got any that's been, I was trying to look for one I'd used before that I didn't have to cut this paper off of, but I don't see one. So I'm going to have to, I need a pair of scissors, but maybe this will work. Yeah. When you think about stickers like this on stuff, it makes you wonder why. Me and Matt were talking about that the other day, when I know they have to, I guess stickers don't come off easy, and so that's why manufacturers put it on there. But when it's something like this, or like a window or a piece of wood that you're going to use, and then they put a sticker on it, and then it leaves a bad place, or a place that you've got to try to figure out how to clean up. Okay, I got that one. Even though I was complaining, come right off. Let me spread it out a little bit, spruce it up some. It's got a little pine cone on it too, and well, and a bigger one. Okay, let's see if I can put that right in the, oh yeah, that's lovely. Now, wonder if I could tie one of the, it looks like too long. Another thing I found, I'm going to have to get Matt to help me with, is last year we hung up these beautiful ornaments that Granny made a long time ago. It's of all of us. There's Katie and Ben, that's just who I picked up. But last year I hung them on one side of the entryway there, and I'm going to put them back there. We just now need to make them for all of our new family members. So I think this is just, I don't even think, so there's, see if I can remember. We're all in there except for even Miss Cindy, Pap Granny, all of us, except for Maddie and Rachel and Margaret and Anne Marie and Mary Catherine and Asa and Zach and Alec. There's almost, and if you count Corey and Katie's, that's 10 more. I need to get to work before next year, don't I? Okay, so I was thinking about tying something around this. That's almost too big, but something like that. And that's what I was reaching over here for this. Wondered if I could tie something like this around it. That might work, maybe. I don't know, it's pretty long and I don't want to cut it. Maybe I could double it around and tie it. Maybe I could tie it in a bow. Let's see. It's almost too big to go around once and too little to tie it in a bow once I doubled it. Yeah, I don't know. That ain't gonna work. Well, let me just try tying it in a bow and see what happens. Since I can't find it. Or I could double it around and maybe that'll work, doing it that way. Oh yeah, that's gonna work. Oh yeah, that one turned out really pretty, and again just took a minute because I didn't even have to put the bow there, but I did. All right, helper. Then I'll leave you alone after this one, because then I'm gonna have to get started on the, that's like where I sit. Just set it right there where I sit. Thank you, Matt. Okay, now, well, I said I was gonna get started on that, but then I wonder if I should start on one of the wreaths. Maybe I'll do the swag first and get it done, because I really do love it the most. I usually do a wreath though for my kitchen door, and my living room door has like a glass, so I can't really put a wreath, but there's outside on the porch, there's a place that I usually put a wreath right beside the door. So let me scoot all my stuff out and get me some boxwood, and I guess I'll start on doing the hands. Of course, I'm making a huge mess. I thought that I would, if it was warmer. It was so cold this morning, I didn't want to. But last week I thought, well, if we have one of those unusually warm days, I will go outside. Matt got me for my birthday, and we've not put them in the greenhouse yet because we need to clean it out, but he got me some new tables for in there. So I thought, well, I will put those outside, and we'll just do this outside and keep the mess out there, but it's too cold. My hands wouldn't work. So I guess I'm just going to start cutting some of my pieces here. Some boxwood that would work. That's just trash now. I think I shared this last year, but I'll share it again. I'm glad Granny has these boxwoods. She liked them and had them around her house because they reminded her of being, you know, the places she had lived when she was a girl. Boxwood is like one of those old-fashioned type plants. And Granny never has kept them trimmed and neat and nice. She just lets them grow where they will. Reminds me of the ones I've seen sometimes in the Smoky Mountain National Park at old home places. There'll be a boxwood. You can't even see the house was there anymore, but you can see, you know, signs. And one of those signs you'll notice sometimes is a boxwood. And it'll be, you know, 15 feet tall or something. It's just huge. It's more like a tree than a shrub. It's not really a tree. Anyway, but Granny always liked them, and I think, if I remember right, these come from, Granny used to like to go to the flea market, and one day somebody was selling them little pieces of boxwood out of the back of their trunk, out of the trunk of their car, and she brought them home, and I'm sure I rolled my eyes like, oh, boxwoods, why would you want boxwoods? Sure good for me that all those years ago Granny wanted them, because now here I am every year using them, enjoying them. Granny was way smarter than my superior self back then. I wasn't really superior. I just thought I was. Okay, there. Now, I have to decide if I want to. This is my hemlock, and then this beautiful cypress from our tree. I don't know if I've got enough. I just have to have a piece of it, probably, thinking about how many hands of stuff I'm going to need. I don't know. I guess I could just start trimming them this way and make sure to get them all. I wish you could smell in here. Unless you have allergies, then I wouldn't want you to smell, but it smells so good. All this pine. It smells so wonderful. It's not really. And then I could use hemlock, and I could use pine, and I could use holly. Holly might be hard to do with your hands though, so let's just start. Let me just start seeing what I think about boxwoods. I think those would be really pretty. See, just even that, isn't that just beautiful? That might just be enough, just like that. I need to make it probably 4. It might just be it, just like that. I don't even like that one there. Unless I put some hemlock or some pine. Go back to the pine. I have an never-ending supply of pine. Oh yeah, that's pretty. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I've got the cypress, if it holds out. I've got the boxwood, and then I've got pine. And then I'm just using florist wire, floral wire, and I'll just wrap it around there several times and get it started. Cutters. Katie gave me them last year, so I'd have something to cut with. Well, I think I'm cutting them. I don't know. Maybe that's why she give them to me, because they don't work. Oh, come on. Well, they're dull as a fro. And that just is not going to work. Let me try my clippers. Yeah, I cut them. Okay, so there's my first little, well, I didn't get that piece in there. I'm going to have to go back, get back to that. Okay, let me try again. Didn't go far enough up. Now there's my first little one. Now I just got to make a bunch of them, and then I'll show you how we begin to put them on there, how it's going to look. I guess I could have covered myself up now if I could wipe them out as I do that. So with Matt's ideal of using this, we'll just put them and then layer them over top of each other as it goes down through there, and then we'll end up with a swag. So now I need to start making them till I can fill up the stick. Matt's stick worked like a charm, so there it is. It's up there. Really pretty. Turned out beautiful. Now I'm going to go back, though, and get up in a chair and stick some of those red berries. Just stick them in it. But even just that is beautiful, and it smells so good. It smells so great. So now I'm just going to put some of those red pieces in it.
I got to wash my bin.
Katie, am I in the middle right there?
Come to your right a little more.
Oh, my right. This way?
Yep.
That's about the middle?
Yeah, don't you think that? You have to put that close? Or do you think it needs to come to the right even more? I think that's awful close.
Well, I'm going to put some, so what about this one?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, that's
And
better.
then put maybe 2 more. What about that? Is anybody
Pretty good.
still looking?
Dad's looking.
A little more to the refrigerator. Okay.
About right there. I just thought I had a hole right here.
A little bit. I mean, but if
I filled it in some. You want me to hand me some pine, and I'll stick some more of it up there.
if you're just talking about greenery wise, you could stick something up kind of closer to the top, and it would kind of match that side.
Up in
I'll
there.
just cut
Yeah.
these long now.
Okay,
'cause
you
I
have
thought
to
you was gonna trim them.
cut it.
Use some of that stuff right there. What is that? That bushy looking thing.
That's the fir or the cypress from the tree. We could use some of it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If you did that, it would kind of match the side because you have some cypress over here. Maybe
That
just
helped.
get one little piece of cypress and stick it down kind of between where you just put that and where you put that hedge. Yeah, in that hole right there.
That might be too.
There you go. That's cool.
Cool.
How'd we do it last year?
I've always used a string or a rope before, but your daddy said, what about a stick? And it would be sturdy, and it worked. It's so beautiful, and it's amazing how you just, I mean, those, the red and the silver are store-bought, but the rest of it, just to go out and, 15 or 20 minutes, gather a bunch of stuff and stick it together. Isn't it beautiful?
Where did the hedge thing, where is it planted out there?
The boxwood, it's down at Granny's. There's one by our garage and one on the other side of the house. Well, there's more than that, but those are the two big ones.
That's right. I just can't, I knew they were down there. I just couldn't remember where.
And we found some white pine, and then we, I had forgot that I had some leftover cypress from our Christmas tree. So that's the cypress.
That's right.
So there.
Cool.
Beautiful. Okay, that's the hardest part to do, is that wonderful swag, but it looks so pretty. I'm so happy that it's there. Now I've got underneath all my pine and stuff here is my just my little things for wreaths, and I just reuse them. So I probably used this one last year. I did use though last year. I forgot I used some of the styrofoam ones, and I used a hot glue gun, but I'm not so far not going to do that. I did get my hot glue gun, but not going to do that now. I don't think. Now I've got to think about how I want to. I could do the same thing with the making the little hands. I want to use some of this wonderful hemlock that we got at Granny's though. It already has the pine cones on it. So I'm definitely going to use some of that. I'm going to trim some of it off here. And pile of it. I guess I'm going to have to move this back. I've got such a mess, I'm running out of room. The white pine's really pretty too. Matt went and got me a bucket so I could throw some of my trash away in it. So let's see. Oh, may have to combine it with some white pine, which we've got tons of. Okay, there's my pile of that. I about used all of my, oh here's some more. All of the cypress. I about used all of it. Still got boxwood too though. I've about used all the boxwood, but I've got a little bit left, so maybe I should use some of it. And some with the, trying to find one with the pine cone. There's one. That's pretty. So I think that's going to be pretty. Let's see how well. Oh yeah, you know, even just that, if you just left it and just had this in one corner, I think that's really lovely. But I am going to fill it up, so I just need to add enough of these, make enough of these to fill it up completely. I think I've got enough ready to, let's start putting them on here. We'll see about it. Let me lay down a few and see which way or how I think they should go. Oh yeah, that's going to be pretty. Okay, now I'm going to start wiring onto the wreath form. Okay, it's kind of wild and crazy, but I like it. It's very exuberant, all the branches. I made the hands too big for this one, but I like it. I like how that part hangs down. I'm not sure I got them. I especially like this part hanging down. Very exuberant. I think this will be perfect for going on the porch. Now, do I want to put some kind of bow in it? I think that would be pretty. My bow's kind of got squished up from last year where it was tied. I've got pine rosin all over my hands, so everything's sticking to them. I'm being lazy. I need to just undo it and do it again. What do you think, Katie? Whoops, I just lost a piece. Oh no.
Oh no. I think it looks good.
Oh, and I'm picking up pieces. That's part of what's happening.
Yeah, you're getting other people caught in it.
Yeah. Okay, I think the bow's pretty. I think it's pretty. Now I gotta figure out where I lost this piece. Did I lose it right there, or did I think I lost it right here.
Oh, you have to lose something else that looks like it can come out the bow.
I think that one, I just had it like that. That's very pretty. Except I'm gonna have to put that one back. Maybe I need something right there. I could put something there.
That's a good one. Don't forget either, you got these little things.
Got little presents.
That'd be fun to stick in. You need some help?
Yeah, maybe. What about
Oh, it's
that?
clipped to it.
That's what the deal is. I wonder if I could clip that. Clip those in there.
Those little presents would be cute in there. I mean, if you do more than one, you might do one like that.
Yeah.
That's nice. That added to it.
I need some for the other side though. Where I could put it. I don't know where I got those little clips, but those are handy.
Those are handy. Oh, that's nice. Very nice, Mom. Good
I've
job.
got to figure out how to put this one back though. And I think I'm gonna put this one on the porch. Once I go out there on the porch, I may have to take me a few more pieces and stick around on it, especially if I lose any more. Maybe I won't lose any more though. Okay, now let's see. Okay, I think it's pretty. I'll have to adjust the ribbon when I get it outside. Maybe I need to I'll stick some more stuff down in there. I think that one's about to come loose too. That's what's happening. They're falling away and you can see my metal. Well, that helped some. Let's see. I should have used more tie and tied them in different places instead of just at the very bottom of the hand. But I think once I get out there, I can massage it a little bit and make it work. I brought it out on the porch and hung it up because sometimes it's easier to adjust when it's actually hanging instead of laying flat. So I definitely stuck some more greenery in around the edges, and I really like how it turned out. Now it is kind of very full, and you can see there's a tail hanging down, but I love that. I think it looks whimsical, and it almost looks like, because it is so full and lush, especially where I stuck the ones in the middle there to hide the wire, looks like a kissing ball. Reminds me of that. So anyway, I think this one turned out really well, and it'll be right here on our front porch, so everyone that comes in, right by the welcome sign, it's kind of overshadowed now by the wreath, but it'll be okay. So everyone that comes to visit for Christmas, they can see this on their way in. I've got one more thing I want to make for this door, for our kitchen door. So I don't know, I'm about to run out of stuff. I may have to go back out into the woods and find some. I've got this kind of a grapevine. It's not really grapevine, more like straw. I've got it, wood, it says it's wood. I could just try doing something with it, or I've got another metal one, and I've got the ones I could use a glue gun on, but I don't really want to go do that. So I don't know if I should use this or if I should do the metal one, but make my hands much smaller and tighter than I did the one on the porch. I don't know, it'd be awesome if I could just stick into these. I don't think that'll work though. But maybe I don't know which one I want to do. This one's smaller diameter, so it's not going to take as much. So maybe I should do it since I don't have very much stuff left. Maybe I should do that one. I guess I will. I guess I'll try it and see what happens. I'm going to cut the tag off, and the very first thing is I'm going to make me a hanger with some wire. I don't think it really matters where. So now at least I've got me a hanger now. So since I don't have much left, I'm just going to have to, that's all I got other than some, I do have the holly left. It's so prickly. I like to more just put it in instead of doing little hands with it, but that may be what I have to do. Let's see, what could I do? That's a big piece of pine. I guess I need to cut them smaller than what I had on the porch. That's what I run into why it got so exuberant on me, which I do like that. but it got really, really exuberant. I'll cut these smaller. I have to send Matt for more to work with. This would be pretty if it was just the hemlock, but he'll have to go further to get that. So then I wonder if I should just try the white pine. Might be pretty against the wood, just the white pine. What did I do with my wire? Here it is. Maybe this time I'll, as I go, put some. Yeah, I think that's going to be pretty. Wrap it as I go. Although I could probably use the glue gun on this one since the pine is so light. Maybe I should plug it up. I did bring it up here. I'll just take it a minute to heat up. Maybe I'll do that. And I don't know about these. Just have to see how many white pines I have left. Okay, I think I'm done. Very simple, but I think it turned out pretty. I'm going to put it inside on the kitchen door so when people come in that way they can see it. I hope it all stays. I used the glue gun instead of wiring it, but I think it turned out pretty. Kind of much more simple and sedate compared to the one on the porch that's so exuberant. It looks really nice on the door. Now I got to do the worst part. Actually, Matt's got to do something else for me too, though. He's got to hang those up. But the worst part of the greening of Christmas is cleaning all this mess up because I've made such a mess. So once I get it cleaned up, though, I'll show you how everything turned out. So this is where the picture of greenery went. You see how beautiful it looks. Those are fake berries. Well, the holly berries are not fake, but the rest of it is. But look how beautiful it looks in this corner with all the other Christmas decorations, the nativity there and the trees and everything else. Really brightens up this corner. And here's the other little vase of greenery that we made where I tied the crocheted ribbon around it. Looks really pretty, and since it's right where I sit, I'll be able to smell those wonderful pine scents. So this is the pine wreath on the back door, on the kitchen door. I think it turned out really nice. I believe that's the same ribbon I used last year on the wreath on this door. It's got the little bit of color with the store-bought stuff, but it's really nice and good that it's not so fluffy since the storm door has to close against it. And as usual, I think the prettiest is the swag that goes over top of the entryway into the living room. It looks really beautiful, and I'm glad that Matt had the ideal of using the stick instead of the string. I think it made it more sturdy, and it looks really full and pretty, and I just love it. And Matt got the ornaments hung up that Granny made so long ago of all of us. We just need to add all the new additions before next year. Well, I've got everything cleaned up and everything put away, and the house just smells so good with all that fresh stuff. And it's one of my favorite things is the greening of Christmas. Granny used to go out and gather stuff. She didn't necessarily make the swags like I do, but she made wreaths and she stuck stuff in different places. She's told me a wonderful story 2 or 3 years ago about her and her sister. She said one year her and Genevieve, just the sister that was just above her, said we went out and at Christmas we wanted to decorate, and we got holly leaves with berries and we just stuck them on the wall all over the house. And I said, well, what did your mother mother, what did Granny Gazzy say? She said, oh, she didn't mind. She didn't mind at all. And we just put them all over the house, just the holly with the red berries, and it made everything look really nice. So that's something that's always been near and dear to Granny's heart, but not just hers. It's a real tradition in the mountains of Appalachia, is the greening of Christmas. Even if you don't necessarily call it the greening, it's that bringing nature inside to decorate for this time of the year. Now that I've got this done, I'm gonna go and sit and enjoy it some. Of course, we've got to eat supper. It's late in the day. I've got to figure out how to get all the pine rosin off my hands. It'll just have to wear off mostly, but I'll go give a good scrub and see what I can get off. I'm always thankful when you stop by to help me celebrate Appalachia, and I hope you enjoyed coming along with me and Matt for the greening of Christmas this year.